All right. Hey, everybody. It's Doc. So I just wanted to come in before this video and let you guys know that this week we're talking about a very sensitive subject. We're talking about the murder of Young Dolph. And we know that he was important to a lot of people, that he did do a lot of good in his community. And he made a difference in a lot of people's lives, especially his two children. And we just wanted to give our condolences to the family, to his fans, and everyone else. Even though none of us knew him, knew anything too much about him, but no one, regardless of their past, deserves to be gunned down while they're just about their daily occupational life. So with that, I just wanted to give you a fair warning. We're talking about a sensitive subject. Each of us have our own opinions, although they may be limited and logically connected together in a way that you may or may not understand. But I'm just asking that you please listen. And if you want to add to the conversation, issue any corrections or anything like that, please feel free to leave us some comments, all of that. So anyway, enjoy the show. Make sure to interact. Book a man. We out.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you have decided to come join us and fall in on another episode of Book of Man. We are here to talk about it. Let's talk about a lot going on in the world. But first and foremost, let me introduce my man, the co-host, star and procreator of the Book of Man. Doc, what's going on, brother?
All right. Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Glad to be here. Jay, as always, man, I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful.
That's right. And of course, this week, we welcome back one of our close cohorts of the show, like to come in and fall out when he feel like it, but that's all right. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? See you right and do right. Welcome back for another week, man. How you doing this week, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be alive.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We appreciate you joining us again this week. Man, really enjoyed having you last time you was on, man. And we saw you was passionate about a topic this week, man, and we wanted to give you a chance to speak on it. So we're going to get right into it. Doc, hit us with the video, man.
All right. So what we're going to talk about this week is Young Dolph. Everybody, a lot of people know who he is. If you don't, he's a rapper from Memphis, Tennessee. And he was recently killed by a couple of individuals while he was getting cookies from a cookie shop. So what I have is the video from Fox 13 in Memphis, kind of quickly detailed in what happened. So we'll watch the video and then we'll come back and we'll have some discussion about it. So here we go. You know what? Instead of going through all that, it's going to take forever. So let me give a quick rundown what we talked about here. I'll just go over the words. So basically, law enforcement said that Young Dolph was killed in front of Makita's butter cookies.
Yeah, I think Young Dolph. Makita.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Makita's butter cookies. Yeah. Young Dolph went to the store to buy cookies and ice cream. He always went there, really liked the store. And some guys pulled up on him and they unloaded. These gentlemen, well, I'm not going to call them gentlemen because they took lives. They're not gentlemen, but they got him with some automatic weapons, handguns, and they gunned him down. So, see, I know you had a lot to say about that, man. So, we can kick it to you, man. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
Well, the only thing that, it bothers me, of course, he got killed, but, I don't, I'm not Memphis. So I don't know what's Memphis business, but I just felt the way the brother got gunned down in his own neighborhood that he grew up in. That was just bad. And it touched me in a way too. This guy wasn't just a rapper, that was a way of getting some income, but this guy was helping people, man. This guy had over, I believe, 100 properties or so, different business ventures. He helped his community. He actually was one of the ones that was in this community actually helping, like you can put hands on them, help, not from a distance. And, a couple of years up here in Charlotte, he was attacked, and I remember that it was CIAA weekend, and that's when they let off 100 shots at him, but he was in the bulletproof car. So
I read that.
That happened up here. And actually that night, bro, I was gonna go hang out CIAA, but I like, man, I ain't chill. Cause the last couple of years they've been getting wild. Like, you get older, if you go out, you want to just be chilling. You don't want that foolishness.
Right.
But that happened. Then the incident after that, some time later, he got shot in Hollywood. So whoever it was, they've been after him. So I'm thinking, man, they probably gonna catch the guys or whatever. I know the streets of Memphis know what's going on. We looking from a distance, but what upset me is like the brother was a good dude, man. This dude up here, some students at Duke University was listening to his music while they was working in the coffee shop, and I guess the manager got mad and fired them both. This guy went and got those two guys and brung them out to Rolling Loud. It's a big hip hop festival.
Yeah.
And he said, since y'all lost y'all job, listen to me, I'm giving y'all $20,000 a piece until you find another job. He was that type of dude.
Wow.
Yeah, he did that, man. He used to pull up on his fans. He'll give them like 30 bands. Like, you won this 30 bands. He gave one of his fans one of his brand new Lamborghinis. Like, he really touched the people.
Right.
So I like, man, it's like this dude was actually doing good, but
Well, this is just me. I'm not up on all things hip hop or Young Dolph from Memphis or whatever. But what I did see was the manager or the label or whatever he was assigned to, not the label, the manager he was in connection with, has had other artists that have been killed.
Seen that. You saying Empire?
Empire.
Company.
Right.
Yeah.
So do we think it's some kind of connection there? What do we think?
You want to go, Doc? I go.
Man, you know what? I think this is a tricky one because I did some more research on what was happening, some limited research,
right?
And the one thing they said that Dolph was a regular dude. He did regular stuff. So let's connect the dots. One, he had his own. He did like Master P. He kept all his own stuff under his own umbrella. So everything was him. But although he didn't live there anymore, he went back there frequently. And they said you would go. Dude said, "Man, I would go to the post office. He's standing in the line with me. With all the jewelry on and everything. He would go to you see him shopping in the grocery store doing. So he was there all the time and out in public. Now, what I don't understand is that you kind of, this stuff going on because it hadn't been the first attempt on his life.
Right.
Can you give back and revitalize the hood by being in the hood, by putting your own life at risk?
Well,
also I'm gonna say this one thing. I listened to a couple of his songs. I mean, I had saw his name around, but I never really listened to his stuff. I didn't know a lot about him. Listened to a couple, and I'm gonna come up with this saying. Y'all all heard it before. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yep.
That's true.
So what you got to say?
Well, first thing I'm gonna say on it is this. Steve Harvey, people like him, love him, whatever. One of the things he said that I do agree with is he said the best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So once Young Dolph had removed himself from that world, he probably should have, and I hate to say it like this, but he probably should have kept himself removed to a certain extent. I know it means something to people sometimes to see somebody doing well and being around, but a lot of times, especially in our community, unfortunately, you don't have that luxury. You can't, once you get to a certain level of income or a certain level of notoriety, because jealousy is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
You got to kind of remove yourself from being in a certain space. A lot of times, I know he probably felt like, I'm home, I know this city, I know these people, I don't need security like that. But you get to a certain level of you making money, you do need security. You do need, I don't care where you at.
Man, look at this evidence.
But
go ahead, C. Go ahead, C. Nope.
Nah, but the thing is, he never removed himself. He was always there.
And And that might be the
That's
issue.
another
Maybe he
thing.
should have removed himself a little further.
Yeah.
You know,
And he in
Memphis
this
might not have been the
neighborhood.
city for him.
Yeah. I mean, like he was, if you look at how his car was pulled in, you know, he pulled in straight. He wasn't pulled in backwards in case he, you know, can watch us all surround. So that tell me he was very comfortable.
Right.
He was used to going to that place. And, you know, like you said, man, it's sad that we got to think like that. But once you get to that level, you got to you really do got to do that, bro. You know?
So, all right. So listen, so how can you help people in the hood without endangering yourself? Like, what could he have done differently?
That is why people start organizations. That is why, you know, he could you start an organization and maybe that organization can go down there, but you really can't. And you know, you make enough money. If you want to do that and you want to be in that area, you need to have some kind of security with you.
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate.
They saying he had a security with him. That's what I'm, you know, some reports I'm hearing that, but I don't know how true it is.
Well, I saw the video that someone was taking live, like right after when the police first arrived.
Yeah, I seen that too. Yeah.
So apparently the other dude was down at the convenience store at the other end. So he went one way, the other dude went the other way. You know, I think they was getting cookies, ice cream, and some drinks. You know, they was just chilling. And then Buddy, after Young Dolph got shot, he came out and he started letting off at the people that shot him, because one of them got shot. That's what
I'm hearing too, but I want to see it on an official report.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I'm hearing, but you know,
but I want to
wait till all the facts come out.
But the big thing, okay, big fish in a small pond, right. If you're a big fish in a small, and he was a real big fish in a small pond, being that the poverty in Memphis is high. I can't remember the percentage, but it's higher than everywhere else in the United States.
Right.
I mean, it's up there.
It's Flint, Michigan type poverty.
It's high. And I'm telling you the truth. Like I told you earlier today, Jay, I was there. You know, when we went to Memphis, where he got shot at, I remember driving through there. You know, that and Orange Mound and all them places, man, I'm telling you, it's poor over there. So you going out, got on all iced out jewelry, you know, they kept saying that was a Lamborghini, but that was a new Corvette he riding.
That's a vet.
New vet all day long, you know, custom wrap and all. So you making a big appearance. Hey, I'm here. This is what I got. I mean, anybody can be touched. There's no such thing as being invincible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. True. Anybody can be touched. No such thing as being invincible. Why do we have to live like that? Why does a man who's gone out, worked hard, made himself a success, chooses to be in his community and help his people, have to live down to be safe? Like, I worked hard, I made this, I earned this.
Yeah, but it's the way of the world, man. You got to think, man. Whenever it's poverty-stricken areas, the crime rate is always going. Just like growing up in West Savannah, man. You know, and on the east side, I stayed on both. I really stayed on all Savannah, but those two main parts I stayed at. You know, my latter years was West Savannah. You know, growing up into a teenager. And when I first got in West Savannah, man, you know, it was rough. I stayed right down the street from Fairwood, Richard Street, Richard and Scarborough.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was pretty rough around there, but you always gonna see crime because everybody want money. Everybody trying to scrape up and get money. That's what it's all about. People just trying to hustle and get money, and you know, jealousy come with that.
Yeah.
Start shining, then you know, boom. Like, man, like we both can do this. All of us on this panel, because we all went to school together, and y'all know people out of West Savannah and Garden City. Like, bro, think about all the people we know that done got killed.
Yep.
And you know, stuff was going on when we was in, you know, we had a lot of partners in the streets or doing their thing. So you know what come with the territory. But for him, you know, he's around that and he don't have to do that no more. Cause he used to be a hustler. He'll tell you that You know, he used to hustle, got his parents out, boom, boom, boom. So he always felt connected to the hood, which, you know, the hood do be a downfall for a lot of us black men.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm saying, but is there a way to, like, I didn't grow up in the hood. I mean, I grew up what y'all call the country, man. That was me. I mean, I was cool with everybody and knew about that stuff, but I didn't live there.
You knew people.
I knew,
though.
but I didn't. Yeah, exactly. We knew all the same people. But the thing is, from an outside perspective, it's not being able to let certain things go. There's a certain point you have to, and when I say let go, I don't mean as in letting them go and letting people suffer if you can help them. I mean, still do that. But if you are a multi-millionaire, I can't remember his net worth, but I know he turned down a deal for $20 million. He turned that down to stay independent. So obviously
22, I think. Yeah.
Obviously he got millions. If you got millions, why are you still on the corners?
Yeah.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? You know, Ice Cube said something a long time ago. He said you gotta shake that hood mentality to change your reality.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting to.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about hood mentality and all of that. We live, especially us as black people, we live in a society or an environment that glorifies that. We think that's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and then not to mention, a lot of us, that's what we're comfortable with. That's what we know. So even though he took himself economically and income-wise, he removed himself from poverty, mentally, that's still what he knows. That's still what he understands. He doesn't understand the New York high rises. He know how to go in there and play them hard so he don't so he can make a good deal because he go in there with his street, you know, his street knowledge and his ability to make deals. He's still a smart individual regardless of where he is, but that's not where he's comfortable. That's not what he knows. That's not what he understands. Even though it may be more dangerous in the world in that hood, that's what he knows and what he's comfortable. He feel like he can navigate that easier. Yeah, and that's the society we almost live in. Even African Americans or black people, whatever you want to call us, who don't even live in the hood, try to learn and take on a lot of that hood. We all know, like, all of us have spent time on college campuses. We've all spent time in college. We know cats at the college who's straight up middle class. Straight up middle class.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't never seen that hard, never been through no hard struggle in their life. But you know, you catch them on the college campus, they act like they're gangsters.
but look at this though. So
it's the music, man.
If that's gonna happen,
what's promoted? Yeah.
But look at this. If that's gonna happen, why in the world are we busting our behinds to try to have our kids not be that if they're gonna do it anyway?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Farrakhan said this a long time ago when he started making these movies projecting the young black man as a gangster. It started with Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, you know, Menace to Society. When Menace to Society came out, Farrakhan said this is a weapon that is going to show the whole world this is how young black men are, which is not true. All of us, everybody don't grow up like that. And so that imagery, you know, we talked a couple weeks ago about the subconscious and all that. Now you got the whole world. See, the world is way, you know, billions of times bigger than the hood.
Right.
So the whole world will see that and think that's how we all are. When I went to college, my first roommate was a white guy named Kobe O'Donnell from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And he never met a black guy. And two guys on my basketball team was from Indiana. Never met a black guy. And I was like, what? Never heard of this. You know what I mean? Now this 2000. And 99, 2000, whatever. So he says to me, like, man, you don't act like the people on TV. I'm like, man, that's TV. So he thought that perception was true.
That is their perception.
That's crazy.
All right. But then you know what? That connects back to the purpose of this whole thing we doing, to combat negative stereotypes. But we keep perpetuating the negative stereotypes. And the one reason I think it is that, and I'm gonna connect all of this back, is survival mode. I think that we as a people are living in survival mode and we can't get out of it because you think you do when you're living in survival mode, you think you're doing good because you can find food that day.
Right.
You live in survival mode, you think you're doing good if you just got a plain roof over your head. That's survival mode thinking.
Right.
Whereas everybody else in the world is living not in survival mode so they can grow and prosper. So I think that us staying in that survival mode mindset is causing us as a people to stay where we are and stuff like this to happen. Because when Young Dolph, I will venture to stay based on what you said, Jay, and what I've seen that he was still living in survival mode and he couldn't get out of it.
That's back to what C said about the mentality. We had to find a way to break that mentality that I'm a hood nigga, I'm a real nigga, whatever that mentality is. And I can admit I done fell victim to it, and we probably all have because that's what's when being pushed to. That's why I don't know if you guys ever heard of the I forgot the dude's name, but he got a whole series called The Nigga Factory.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I forget what the guy's name is. I think his name Truth or something like that. But he got a whole series called The Nigga Factory where it basically says the society at large, the system, social media, the music is designed to keep Black people in adolescence to the age of 35. I think it's having reached beyond 35 at this point. But I believe that's true because I think a lot of people around our age, a little bit younger than us, you just wake up one morning and be like, "What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I living like this?" You just get you in a fog in this haze of, you know. That's why we got so many baby mamas and bad relationships, and we all living in this bullshit world, man. We living in this fake ass world where we trying to figure out stuff based on rules that don't apply nowhere but in our 5-block radius.
Yeah,
them rules don't apply nowhere else. Them little dumbass hood rules and shit, they don't apply nowhere.
No.
And as a result, for somebody like Young Dolph, who economically should have removed himself from the 5 blocks.
Yeah, he was still technically he did. He lived in Atlanta. He just was going.
Yeah, he did.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Economically, he removed himself.
Well, but again, can't let it go. It had a hold on.
I ain't gonna sit here and lie, man. When I don't come home like I used to. I may come home like once a year or whatever. And when I used to come home a lot, I used to, see my family, then go see my friends, all my people in West Savannah or whatever on the east side. But now when I come home, I'm just at my mama's house. That's it. Like exactly. My mama stay in Bloomingdale on that's a country part now. And I'll be down there, but Savannah won't see me. I just
Savannah don't need to see you.
I'm back home.
Savannah don't need to see you. And I feel the same way. I'm here in Atlanta. Honestly, I'm to the point where I don't even much like coming to Savannah. Like I come because my family here. I'm trying to move my mama to Atlanta with me, so I can come down here. Like to be honest with you, if my children aren't here, I would never be here. I come, I get my kids, and that's it.
I feel you, bro. I'm the same way.
I mean, I still live out here, but I never was one to frequent all them places. Like you said, I knew all the people there, but I never did. But I want to say what y'all saying is equivalent to what we was talking about letting things go. When you grow, you have to let things go. It's kind of like holding on to that one jersey that you really like, that, you was 190 when you bought it, but now you 230 and it don't fit. But you would never get rid of it. But that's what's happening with that. When you've expanded in size, but you got to go stand on the corner. You got to go. I can't let the fella. I think it's like perception. It's perception. You want to be perceived in a certain way, and I think we are afraid to change and to grow into something else because of what we think the perception is.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Yep. Scared to change and grow.
Exactly.
And change and growth is uncomfortable.
It is.
It got to be. But toward the end of the year, last year, and I'm gonna do it again this year. I made a video, entitled "You Have to Be Comfortable Being Uncomfortable."
Yep.
That's the only way you can grow, is to be uncomfortable. If you keep staying in stuff that makes you comfortable, you never get better. You
Never
can't
gonna
get
be nothing
stronger.
different. Never gonna be nothing different.
Never. It's just like when you had your first girlfriend and she broke your heart. You just thought the world gonna end. But all that did was made you stronger. You got wiser. You understood how, you know, things go. I mean, growth, man, it's gonna be pain, it's gonna be uncomfortable, you know.
So what I want to ask though is this whole, how important is perception as it relates to those negative stereotypes? And what I mean is that, do we as men adapt the negative stereotypes so we can gain the positive perception from our peers?
I think so. I think a lot of people do that. That, like you said, go back to doing what you know and what you're comfortable with and what the people around you are doing.
Are you saying as a whole, you saying that? I'm saying for me, no. Just for me, no.
No, just that we had to speak in wide terms. Got to speak in wide terms. Because obviously I know the people on the panel, I mean, everyone has eclipsed where they were before. And we can all look back and say, I don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
But just in general, the wide perspective.
Absolutely. Peer pressure is a reason it has a name, because it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the environment. What's the environment versus what's more important, environment or genetics or whatever? That whole conversation. Environment is major. Like your environment you grow up in, the people you grow up around, you know, is a big part of who you are. You know, like what's the guy said? You want to know who you're gonna be in 5 years? Look at your friends.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, look at your friends. The people you're around are doing this. That's probably what you're gonna be doing. If you want to be something different, you got to be around different people.
Yeah.
You gotta chase differences in life. Like, yes, we oftentimes do the wrong thing and the negative thing to fit in with our friends and to fit in with the environment. That's why you have dudes who smart who won't bring books to school because they don't want to look like they in their school.
And that happened in our younger years too. That's the more impressionable years.
Right.
You see a lot of that.
Exactly. But the problem is our younger years impact our later years. So if you do a lot of dumb stuff with your younger years, with 0 to 25, by the time you're 40, you're either playing catch up or you just stuck.
You know, I say this as a person who is an educator, work with kids. I've also been a manager of adults. And I'll tell you this, adults and kids are the exact same. They are the exact same. As a matter of fact, adults are worse than kids.
Yes.
They do the same things. And it's funny because a lot of adults are stuck in that kid mentality. They won't let it go. I mean, look up and down your timeline. I mean, you know, Facebook or social media. If you look up and down it, you can see, because a lot of us have the same friends. We have the same, because we're from the same place. But if you look at some of the stuff they say and that they post, it hurts your heart.
Yeah. And I know people always say, oh, it's just social media. That's not who I am for real. It's just a game. Cool. That's fine. But you know what? That's all people know about you. If I don't talk to you every day, see you every day, all I know about you is what you post.
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that to this. And those are people I think people don't take life seriously enough. I think that they feel like they can do what they want and be free from consequences.
Correct.
Now, when you say something is just a game, it's just for entertainment, okay, fine, you can say that. But I will tell you this, what comes out of your mouth, what comes out in your actions is truly what's inside. I don't care if it's a game or not, because if you say it somewhere in there, you believe it.
To a degree, absolutely.
I mean, you can't tell me that. I'm just saying, I'm gonna push back 1,000% on whoever said it. And y'all in the comments, if y'all want to go ahead and address that, come on with it. But whatever you post, I think somewhere inside of you, you have that belief. For example, if you got somebody who is married, but they always posting stuff about cheating or being with other people or stuff like that, somewhere in your heart is there because you didn't say it enough.
Right.
It's there.
It's in there. It's in there.
And
You're right.
you can't, I mean, try to change my mind. I'm challenging anybody out there, come and change my mind. Put it down in the comments, send me a message, change my mind today.
Listen, I absolutely agree that if nothing else, seeing the same type of information over and over and again is definitely going to impact how you feel about whatever situation you're going through. You know, if you constantly, as a black man or a black woman, see black men and black women can't get along, can't have solid relationships, you're going to feel like black men and black women can't have a solid relationship. If you constantly see, oh, you can't trust nobody, you're not going to trust nobody.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you constantly see that, constantly believe that, and that's part of the reason why I'm trying to pull back from social media, because of all the negativity on it. You know, I'm trying to, this right here is, I'm trying to make my largest interaction with social media, and I catch myself on certain days like, man, I don't spend too much time on here. I'm wasting too much time. And I will outly say a lot of stuff, man. This is controlled opposition, man.
Oh yeah.
Nobody really live like this. This is stuff that's posted to keep shit going.
Of course.
It ain't real. It's not real. And we eat up and we spend so much time dealing with stuff that's just, you know, nothing. And we got to do better. But yeah, what you be around, what you see, what you post, what you do, what you listening to, music. I used to swear when I was growing up, man, that's just a song. It's just a song.
Nah, it's more than that. Yeah.
It's more than that. That's going in your head.
Yeah, subconscious.
Yeah.
Yep. And enough people don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the defenses to stand up against this stuff. The worst things for us as human beings are the things that taste the sweetest. Because you don't see it coming. The worst kind of poison is the one that's not bitter. Because if it's bitter, you spit it out. But with what we're seeing and what's coming in is sweet. So we keep doing it, keep taking it in. And it's bad for you in the long run. Yeah. It is. But, you know, I want to circle back to something. I wrote something down while we was talking. So in this original story, we talked about Young Dolph. We talked about what he did. We talked about all of the giving back, the things he did. Now, I want to contrast him with somebody, and y'all tell me what y'all think about this, because it's the same person, basically. You got Young Dolph, had his own record label, owned his own masters, did all of that stuff on his own. Let's contrast him with Master P, who did the same thing. One of them dead and one of them not. Right. One of them not really in the hood like that, but he's still supporting the hood, and one of them stayed in the hood. Is there a way, like back to the first question, is there a way to still help people in the hood without being in the hood? I'm going to say yes, because Master P did it.
Yeah, you just said it. You know, Master P gave you the blueprint. He did things behind the scenes. You know, behind the scenes, like you said, Jay Sims earlier, Master P got a lot of organizations.
Right.
That's directed in the hood that helps out. Right. You know, he do a lot in California that people don't talk about. That's where we live at. Yeah. There's a lot for them there. Also in New Orleans or whatever.
Yep.
But that's the key right there, man. Because you know, if your money can reach without you being there, that should tell you something.
Exactly.
You got the power to change things.
And that's what you have to do. That's you have to remove yourself because of the intense jealousy, and this is the other word we're gonna talk about. It kind of go back to that survival thing you was talking about, Doc. The intense jealousy and fear.
Okay. Boy, talk more about that. For what you just said.
The intense jealousy and fear that people live under drives them to do some horrible things. Man. You know, and even let's say the most likely scenario with the Young Dolph thing is that's some old stuff from when he was in the streets. That's the most likely scenario. That's somebody who been wanting to get at him for a long time. That's the most likely. Let's be honest with you. This is something that's probably
that's all hood stuff though.
Right. So that's somebody who was like, oh, you did me wrong 10 years ago and you out here living this hot life. That's jealousy and fear. That's based in jealousy, because he probably could have went to Young Dolph and said, yo, you screwed me over 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And they probably could have had a conversation about it and came to some conclusion. Because I'm sure Young Dolph not trying to chase that nonsense no more.
Man, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna flip it on the side. I'm gonna say that Young Dolph had fear.
Of course.
He had fear because he went back to what was comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say that also some ego was involved.
Yeah.
And his ego for 20 years was there because I'm the king of the city. Everywhere he go, people waving and cheering him on. Because I mean, look at it now. All his cars had his camouflage wrap. So when he went somewhere, you knew it was him.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was him. I saw the vet wrapped up. He had a Bentley SUV, a Bentayga wrapped up, and a couple other vehicles. So I'm going to say that I think he had some fear. He had some fear of stepping out into a bigger world. I mean, he kind of dipped his toe in it to make his money, but he always came back.
Yep.
I agree to some of that. I mean, when you say fear though, but I think he didn't have that much fear, because he did take a chance. The man have been all over the world.
Oh. Let me clarify fear. Because we usually, when we say fear, we always think of being scared of something, some physical thing, being afraid of that. But we also have the fear of failure and the fear of success.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So,
I understand that.
So when I say fear, now this is pure speculation. I didn't know him. I don't know much about him, but just from the evidence we've seen, I think the fear was the fear of change, the fear of running in a circle when you wasn't the big dog, the fear of being in a place that was different than what you grew up with. Because I think he did an interview with DJ Vlad I watched, and it was very telling, but I enjoyed what the man said.
Yeah.
He was saying that everybody in Memphis grew up with their grandma.
Yeah,
everybody was raised by his grandma.
Yeah.
And everybody had parents who went to high school together and knew each other, but either they was old drugs or they was hustling in the street.
Yeah, they was in the streets. And you could tell he had an old soul about him by the way he talked. Mm-hmm. You could tell he was raised by, his grandparents, but and that thing with fear, man, that's deep. I understand you better what you're saying now. Mm-hmm. And we also, as black men in the hood, have a fear. We have a fear of each other.
Yeah.
And that started off like from knee high. And I never really understood that, but that what led to a lot of killing, especially where we from. Juggle was scared to do the 1-2s, but they will kill you out of fear. Mm-hmm. We the only, I hate to be negative and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like, I think we one of the only races on this earth that truly fear each other. We fear each other more than any other race. A black man to kill a black man before he kill anybody outside of that. But I never understood that, and I'm not promoting the killing and none of that crap. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, we would hate each other before we hate anything else.